Okay, well, this here is a project we did for a client the other week, and it's sort of a perfect example of what can go wrong when you least expect it. Now, typically, we're recording our own sources to our own devices. We rarely mix footage from other sources, but in this situation, it was sort of a hybrid local roundtable connecting to a Zoom meeting, and we had a second sister company managing the Zoom meeting, spotlighting people and facilitating the connections. And we had some people coming in remotely as well to this meeting. So everything combined, it meant that we had to record as much as we could locally, but then just trust the Zoom recording on top of that. And when we got it back into post here, this is what my colleague managed to synchronize. All the red ones cannot be synchronized. He's managed to clean it up a little bit here, but it's sort of a fustercluck, and we've got corrupted footage in. Actually, this looks all right. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that looks all right. Oh, we do have some errors popping up, which is a telltale sign. If you look at this little bit down here, it is black. Can we get it to show up at all? What if I think Premiere just froze on me. This happens a decent amount when you're dealing with corrupted footage. Yeah, I think Premiere's just jammed on me. So we're going to give it a moment here and see what it does, see how it sorts itself out. I don't think it will, so I'm going to go into my task manager and just kiss it goodnight. Good night, Premiere. There we go. Okay, and let's get rid of some of my background stuff here. Let's open up this conference once more. It's going to pop open here. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, and we're back to this view here. And so that piece of footage right there managed to, I think that's the one that's guilty, managed to corrupt our project. So let's see where it is. It's this one here. Extra large icons. It looks all right to me. We've got the fella talking and talking. It's not really important footage anyways. Okay, so why does it show that it is short there? This here clip is supposed to be... Can I... Yeah, something's gumming up the system here. Let's go like that real quick. This piece is supposed to be roughly 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Wait, no. That's supposed to be just 4 seconds? No. No, we've run into errors again. Okay, so this is sort of an example of what can go wrong. I went and I resynced this myself just previously, and mine turned out even worse than my colleagues. So here we see everything's gone to hell. So my shortcuts aren't working. I can't jump around the map very easily. So that one is a busted video. This here, let's see if we can pull up that and see what it is. Okay, is that our... there's nothing active above it. There's nothing below it. Can I scroll around? Okay, so this is an example of... Well, I'm kind of screwed on this one. There's nothing to show for... Oh, there we go. There we go. We got a quad view. This looks like it was a Zoom internal recording of... It looked like a quad view. It says recording gallery, so it should have stayed on the gallery. But then we got this sort of picture-in-picture showing up. I don't... There's nothing blocking this layer, so that is this layer. Yeah, it is. Okay. And then we keep going. And does it ever return back to a non-picture in picture? Not really. Okay, so let's see what's on the layer above it. Right above it here we have, this looks like an auto camera in Zoom, an auto switching camera. This one here looks like it's actually planned. We've got side by sides. That's awesome. And what's on this one? This is interesting. I think this is sort of the program mix, I guess. This is what they did for a program mix.
Recording in progress.
Okay, that's...
Down. You know, when I approach Richmond now, felt when they saw the city of Vancouver go up.
And we're losing sound on it. That could be because I'm mucking about.
Just to always stay connected to.
Okay. So that does seem like it's a program output. Then what is this down here? This looks like... This looks like my local recording. Yeah, that's probably my local recording.
Looking forward to meeting you virtually. Thank you. Sheila?
Thank you, Garnet. I wanted to welcome everybody to the conference. There are people here from all over Canada, and we welcome everyone.
Okay, so I think it's sort of a tug of war between this one, which let's set this at the proper frame size here.
Everybody.
It's just down the
And then what's going on below here?
road from here by the river, and
Do it, and then all of a sudden,
Let's find a spot where it's side by side here and see what...
Community centers in the new state-of-the-art senior.
Oh. What's with that? Do they really expect us to keep that picture in picture? No, no, no. I'm getting rid of that. Okay, I think I'm going to end up just using my recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of just hide these away. We're going to stick these right in here. Let's bring this back to... which one is it? I think it's this one here. There we go. We're going to close both of these windows. And let's start again. Let's just... Fresh start. Media bin. There we are. I think these are corrupted files there because the server messed up. So we're going to just drag and drag the Zoom backups right in there. Okay, what do we got? Some very lovely music. But we're not going to listen to that anymore. Okay, there we go. So let's go like this. Let's go day one master. And let's throw it in a sequences bin. There we go. Okay. Save that. And let's turn that down just a little bit in my ears. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna skip past all this. That's some sort of slideshow. Okay, and what's going on here?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Costco 21 Conference. I'd like to first introduce you to
Oh,
Sheila.
goodness. Okay, let's bring in the Heart House recording. Ba-dum. HH recording. What's this? Oh no, that's audio file. Okay, let's throw this in there. Okay, that's just a grid view. Let's toss this in here.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to day 2 of the Costco Conference.
Okay, do I have a copy of... Oh, wait, this is day 2? Did he say day 2?
Being brought to you from the unceded territory. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to day 2.
Okay, this... Someone went and screwed up the sorting on this. Because this is supposed to be day 1. What's in day 2 then?
Which is along.
Be inclusive.
Yeah, that's day 1. Someone done fucked up. See, this is why I don't trust other people.
Reminder.
Today we continue. I'm not pretending that I think in senior strategy.
And I need to look at a far more plans during that event. I mean,
Okay, what's going on here? So we've got... I recognize her from the footage over here. Or am I just hallucinating at this point? Yeah, wasn't... No, that's not her. Okay, so let's see what this says. What does he say on this one?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Costco 21 Conference. I'd like to first introduce you to...
Okay, so it looks like the HH recording is the one that's screwed up. So let's just let's cut that one, paste it there, and then cut that one and put it back over here. Sometimes my work is more about playing detective than anything else. So this time, let's grab... That's fine, you don't need it. Offline all of that. Thank you. Let's throw this one in here. And these two. Let's see what we make of that.
And so we're...
Okay, so I can probably throw that on top of here. And what's on this here? go. And you know what? Just for the sake of it, let's do all that and let's hit synchronize. Just have a sip of tea while we wait for it to synchronize. So I wonder if Pluralize can handle this now that we can give it the right footage. Okay, so we actually have a consistent file now. Let's stick them all onto proper transform settings. So that should look like that, should look like that, should look like that. Yeah, that's all close enough. Let's see how the waveforms line up here. We're a little bit off on this one here. And we're just going to move that over here. Boom. Okay, so this all looks good.
We do stand on them. It is our history that we stand on.
Yeah, it seems to be in order now. Might have just been that folder switch, which easy thing to mix up. So what we're going to do now is we are going to... I'm going to check how closely we want them cut up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to... what I like to do is, for this, we're going to skip all the intro to the session.
Jerry. But he always said to Sheila, don't worry about the money, because he...
I just want to follow up on Sheila's welcome. When she was discussing that we started planning this conference in 2019, I think it would be appropriate to have a moment's silence, 1 minute silence for our colleagues. Thank you. Now we'll move on to the main part of the program, and I just want to do a little housekeeping at the outset.
Go. Good morning, everyone, and thanks very much for inviting me to join you at your.
Okay, this is where I want to be, I think.
There we go. Good morning, everyone, and
let's just make sure these settings are correct. Video. I hope that's enough. So I think this is a talk that started up
So
here.
join me in welcoming David.
Yeah, so here we go. So we're just going to go from here and skim through until we get to the end. Oh, no, that's too far. Here we are. Get into this quiet part here. I'm holding C is for cut, Shift is for cut all. I just cut myself right there. And then I'm going to subsequence this here. Make subsequence. And
mentioned that earlier.
let's name these people properly.
Rather than a webinar, also be speaking in the workshops. In the panel discussions, because of alma mater. While you can read the bio of David in the conference program, I just want to mention a couple of things about him. One, and he's also an adjunct professor. But to start out with our first keynote speaker this morning, I'd like to introduce David Eby. David's the Attorney General for BC and the Minister responsible for housing. And he's also an adjunct professor.
Okay, we're just going to call this David Eby for now. And now let's go to the next section. We have a next speaker up here somewhere. There we go. So it's pretty simple once you get into it here. It's more about having your workflow correct.
Okay, the next presenter is...
Oh, something doesn't sound right there. So I'm just going to hit Y, and I'm going to slip this to the left if I can. Oh, it doesn't want to go to the left. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go up to here, go like that. And we're going to just drag it to the left a little bit. That is audio drift right there.
Isabel McKenzie. And just as we're getting her teed up here,
Isabel McKenzie.
Please take time to of her many, many accomplishments. She's is going.
I've got a PowerPoint Okay, and I've got a PowerPoint presentation here. So I'm going to share my screen, and I am going to look for a thumbs up. Garnet from your screen.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good morning.
Okay, that's where we're going to start the talk. I hit X to make the initial cut. And actually, it's a little too close for my comfort, so let's bring it back a bit. Right there. Oh, I missed a couple. There we go. Always do it right. Measure twice, cut once. And let's just scroll forward until she's done talking. And we're going to get all the way to the end here.
While it is true, so to
She
get
talks for a while.
and one now being available throughout BC, you can just dial 211 and they'll help you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, okay, there we go. And let's make that a subsequence. That's Isabel McKenzie. There we go. Let's see who our next speaker is.
What thoughts do you have regarding?
Oh, wait, there's a Q&A. Dang nabbit, there's a Q&A. Let's get into here. There we go. Okay, Q&A is over by there.
Presentation. Write down.
There
In
we
person.
Yes.
So here's to you all. All right.
Thanks again.
Okay, that's better. Let's double check David's one then, because...
I hope that's a compliment. As a
Do this present.
No, that one was cut correctly. Okay. Let's go back to the master one. Just slap that right over there. And there we go.
Okay, now we're going to the panel presentations. And as I mentioned before, there won't be a question and answer period for the panel presentations. Questions. And when you get into the work, and what I'm going to do is go through the speakers in the order that they're listed in the program. So we'll begin with Allison Levy, who will inform us about what we need to know, rights, responsibilities, and roles under BC's adult guardianship laws. Welcome, Allison.
And we'll cut it right there.
Great. Good morning. Thank you.
And we'll keep going for as long as she talks.
Rights and trustee. So thank you everyone for the opportunity to be with you.
Here we
really
go.
Appreciate it.
Here's the ending.
Very much, Allison. That's
There. Right about there. Boom. And we're going to subsequence that, and we're going to call it Allison Levy.
very much, Allison.
It's just a working title for now. It will probably change.
Sherry Baker.
Thank you very much, Garnet. And thank you again, Allison. We tend to tag team a lot with these events.
We usually cut off all the preamble. It tends not to be good video on demand content.
And some of you may know that I've been in this organization for more than 11 years, but I've followed Allison, who set the scene.
Yammer, yammer, yammer.
Before, so I really appreciate her and enjoy working with her. First, I would like to acknowledge that I'm coming to you from the unceded territory.
Okay, here we go.
First, I would like.
That's going to be the content they want to keep.
First, I would like to acknowledge that I'm
all the way down to here.
As we do our work, because it is overarching throughout the province.
You'll have an interesting workshop. Thank you. Doing it and those who are receiving it, something that is almost endemic. Been this.
So I hope that some of you, many of you, will come and join me at towards the prevention of this, and it will take a long time to do it, but at least we're looking to the future. So I hope that some of you, many of you, will come and join me at the upcoming.
And this is why I don't like doing Zoom productions, because we were on location with this fella here, Garnet, and we were muting and unmuting him and keeping things clean, and everyone was supposed to be doing the same for themselves. However, as you can hear there, Connie, she actually came on microphone even though it's not her turn. And if you look at lower layers, I believe, yeah, we have a copy where she's not even visible, but we will hear her now. Like right there. That is actually Connie here. And she had unmuted herself during Sherry's talk. Again, just another reason to try and isolate your sources. If you can have them come in on unique channels each, if you can have them in person, it's the best. I use a website called OBS Ninja. It brings it in as a unique source every time. We didn't have the option of using that this time, just because of the complexity of the situation. It was a Zoom webinar where we had over 9 people participating as panelists, and then the rest of the organization joining as participants. So we're sort of had our hands tied on that one. But if it was my way, I would have brought everyone in remotely via something like OBS Ninja, or had a separate room with an advanced webcam package for each person and being at the switching board.
At least we're looking to the future. So I hope that some of you, many of you, will come and join me in the future. So I hope that some of you, many of you, will come and join me at the upcoming workshop, which starts at 11 o'clock. And I'd like to...
Okay, we're going to cut this content out because...
So I hope that at least we're looking to the future. So
yeah, we typically cut out time-sensitive information from the video-on-demand copies that we make. Here's another subsequence. We're going to name it Sherry Baker. There we are.
So I hope that some of you, many of you, will come and join me at the upcoming workshop, which starts at 11 o'clock. And I'd like to thank you all for your attention.
Okay, they chat. And now let's jump into the next person's.
There we are. There we are. Much better.
Again, we're going to cut out all the Zoom faffery.
I'm Connie Newman, consultant with the Manitoba.
There we go. That's a good spot to start.
I'm Connie Newman, consultant in Manitoba, place and homeland. To our Costco friend, one of the co-hosts who's gonna narrate it.
And we just sort of skip through until they're no longer talking.
Do it together.
That has a camera shift on us, which is unfortunate. Let's see what's on the under layers here. It's taking a while to say hi. Oh, those are just identical. Okay, so those are identical layers. So we got 2 of those and we got 1 of these. So okay, we'll be able to fix that.
Very, very important. That's 25%.
You can kind of tell by the waveforms when it's them talking versus someone else. So that's her, and I believe that's him here. No.
From the Canadian deprescribing.
Yeah, you can see his are sort of a bit thicker of a waveform, whereas hers jump up and down quite a bit more, a bit sharper. And she also talks with these big pauses in there.
Partnered with individuals that.
So I think he starts talking again sometime over here.
And also.
There we go.
Through the Katie network. Thank you.
You've made us a bit jealous. Our final panelist is.
Oh.
Just get in touch with me.
Again, Cody.
You're quite welcome, and if any you through the Katie network.
There we go. Let's call a cut right there. Subsequence. We're gonna name this Connie Newman. And then we're going to. Oh, why did we lose this? Is there no next part? Okay, we're going to synchronize this one as well. Oh, what? There we go. Let's do a synchronization. There it is. Mix it by audio. And just stand by for it to finish thinking about it. We might not have a proper result through this. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. But we'll have something. Okay, now, unfortunately, that's kind of what I suspected. Wait.
In the last 17 months because of.
Oh wait, let's mute these two.
Gotta wait when we spend hours in front of it.
Okay, so that's working. Let's just go like this real quick and go synchronize across all of them. Okay, so there we go. We have updated our synchronization. Now, how come... This is going to sound really wrong. I can just tell. Yeah, it's out of sync there now. Is it in sync here?
Jealous out here when you had to get up and close the blind. It's to keep the sun out.
See, that's the one that's out of sync now. Okay, let's and this is sort of the boring part. Things often don't line up perfectly when you're working with multiple sources, and as much as you think you could just crack through with the editing, it's often just rerunning some of these processes over and over again in different iterations to sort of find a happy medium that you can work with. I'm slowly losing my mind. Okay, so now we have a sync. So what happens with this overlap?
On time. Thank you.
What the fuck?
Sure, everyone. Thank you to the presenters for all A, being here, and 2, being on time. Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Oh.
Good afternoon. Welcome back.
I know what happened. Okay, so this is one of those funny things that Zoom does. So this is my copy that we're looking at right here. It continues in real time with the recording, hence why this follows this. But you notice that when we synced it, this lined up with these markers, which overlaps with this. Now, you can't have two realities going on at the same time with our technology. So how do I have an overlapping recording from the exact same source? The answer, it turns out, is pretty simple, because when Zoom exports the file, they skip time. So we go from here, where he's talking away. Let's mute our local track.
It's amazing how your perspective can change when you get away from your computer screen and just look at something at a distance. So take a bit of time to do this, but please let me remind you of one thing. Please stay in the meeting. Don't log out of the meeting, because what's going to happen, the breakout rooms will be...
He talks for a bit longer.
We'll see each other again at around 12 noon. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you to the presenters for all A, being here, and 2, being on time. Thank you.
And you see how we just jumped reality here? We just jumped time. So he's looking down there. And now he's looking up here. Let's go frame by frame. That's still one video clip. There's no cuts in there. I can't open up the subsequence or anything. That is... Zoom decided to cut out, to pause the recording instead of stop the recording, even though the technology says it's stopping the recording. So it's our job to have detected that, scratched our head enough, and then come in here and snip all of these, and then try a resynchronization with this here, with the new knowledge that they're not playing fair. Ah, frick, did the wrong button. Synchronize, that's what I want. Synchronize according to audio, off you go. Now that took us, what was it, 3 or 4 synchronization processes to come to that conclusion, and then in theory we're going to repair it now with our last synchronization. Again, why I don't like mixing sources. I'll do it, but not every technology plays by the same rules. Okay, so now we have theoretically a good sync. Let's take a listen.
A second class is we've increased
Yep, that is an acceptable sync. Let's drag it all over here. Kiss it up to that. Okay, now, had we done what we needed to do with this? I'm trying to remember. There we go. So those are the fixes applied. Let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with here.
Thank you very much, Connie. And also Allison, who was working in the background there with you. You've made us a bit...
And knowledge is your own personal power. But the more knowledge we have on the medications we're taking, the more we can take care of ourselves. Remember, all of these resources are there for you through the KD network. Thank you.
Okay, that's good enough for now. Now that was Connie Newman. Did we get Connie Newman's one completely done?
On the medications we're taking, they're for you.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Go back to the master copy.
Thank you very much, Connie. And also Allison, who was working in the background there with you. You've made us a bit jealous out here when you had to get up and close the blinds to keep the sun out. We on the west coast or the wet coast don't have that. Thanks again, Connie.
You're quite welcome, and if anybody wants more information, just get in touch with me. I will put my email in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, we're skipping that because the chat is no longer relevant. These will be posted on YouTube or whatever server they want.
Our final panelist is Andy Yan. And Andy is from Urban, and his topic is on the mind, and it will be interesting for this time. So welcome, Andy.
Well,
welcome, Andy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Garrett. I think, really, I think with this kind of very short presentation,
Okay, we're going to go like this. And we're just going to skip to the end, which I think is down here.
Anything you can to sort of revitalize yourself, but just stay logged. It can change when you get away from your...
Thank you so much. I notice it's 10:40, so
Thank you very much, Andy. I think you will be pleasantly surprised at the number. Thank you very much, Andy.
Okay, so I just got word that we want to include the introductions. So we're going to go back and adjust that. Right after we finish. Actually, let's go do it now. So let's open up Allison's, go to home. And we'll just drag this out.
To 65, then we would have had.
Panel presentations. And as I mentioned before, okay, now we're going to move on to the panel presentations. And as I mentioned before, there won't be a question and answer period for the panel presentations. Each presenter will have 10 minutes. And what I suggest you do is, and when you get into the workshops, you then pose the questions to the speakers in the work. And what I'm going to do is go through the speakers in the order that they're listed in the program. So we'll begin with Allison in the
Okay.
in the program.
Now, this makes it a little bit tough because we usually like to leave some handles in there. Handles being the before and after footage from the actual content we're trying to capture. Unfortunately, in this situation, he hasn't given us any handles that we can use. Like, typically you'd want a bit of a space of silence, and then he goes, now I'd like to introduce so-and-so. But in this case, if we take a quick listen.
And what I'm going to do is go through the speakers in the order that they're
This is all housekeeping, so we don't want to keep that.
listed in the program. So we'll begin with.
So I'm thinking starting with this, so we'll begin.
Program. So we'll.
But it doesn't give us much space.
Program.
So we'll go like that.
So we'll begin.
And we'll leave a little bit of that previous consonant in there. It should be cross-faded out by the end product anyways.
I'm Connie.
We're going to take all this, and then we're going to stretch it out.
Interesting workshop. Thank you. Our next speaker is Connie Newman.
Okay, there's a good handle there. Actually, let's go back a bit more. Give it a bit of space. There we go. And let's go and adjust David's one. And ba-da-ba-doom, like that.
Contact.
Experience.
Working together for.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to the main part of the program. To explain how is a Zoom conference in the panel discussions, because.
There we go. Good morning, everyone.
Speaker this morning, I'd like to introduce.
Perfect.
But to start out with our first keynote speaker this morning,
Let's go right there. That's enough of a handle. Save that. And let's go to. Did we do NDN yet?
Well,
no, we didn't. Let's grab that and just drag it out here.
Thank you very much, Connie. And all list is NDN.
There we go.
Workshop later today.
Our final panelist is.
Take that as a handle. Jump over to Isabel. Go to the beginning.
Impacts that as
Okay, the next presenter is Isabel McKenzie.
There we go, and Sherry Baker.
First, I would like. Thank you very much, Garnet. And thank you again, Allison. We tend to tag team.
I don't like how she references the previous speaker. We'll work around that in a moment here.
Trust companies, health authorities, healthcare providers.
Okay, that's a previous talk.
In a nutshell, that will be fantastic. And just want to say that one of the things community response networks, CRMs have
Very much, Allison. That's a very good overview of what's to come in your workshop. Our next speaker is.
There we go. That's the handle I'm looking for.
Our next speaker is going to talk.
And thank you very much, Garnet. And thank you again, Allison. We tend to tag team a lot with these events. And some of you may know that I've been in this organization for more than 11 years, but I've followed Allison, who set the scene for many years before, so I really appreciate her and enjoy working with her. First, I would like to.
Okay, so this is going to be our cut point.
With elder abuse. Welcome, Sherry.
Okay, let's see how jarring it is just to do a jump cut.
Welcome, Sherry.
First, I would like.
Okay, that's pretty jarring. Do we want to fade? Do we? Well, actually, we can't. We don't want to deal with that right now. We're doing a content cut. Let's go back to the master.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, you see, that's where the Zoom started recording again, which is why it's frame perfect, that jump. But the thing is, it paused the recording. It didn't stop the recording. So it didn't complete the file, and it mushed the two segments together, which led to untold difficulties when synchronizing the footage.
Recording in progress.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. I hope you all.
Okay, let's just align this a little bit better for now. It's going to drift. Let's start it off right.
Good afternoon. Welcome back.
Close enough.
I hope you all had a chance to stretch and get a little exercise, and particularly exercise your eyes. It's so important when we spend hours in front of a computer screen like this that we take the time to look.
Dude, guy has no clue. Oh, this guy has no clue. I spend every day, all day in front of a screen. It hurts. Oh well.
Look around. We've got some interesting presents. Adrian Dix is an MLA. He's been the Minister of Health, and he's probably been one of the busiest, because he is an outside of park writer. Adrian will present his welcome in a brief video. So welcome, Adrian.
Oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's a pre-record. Okay. Okay, just messaging my colleague about these pre-record files because typically I don't cut them out. I just don't know if they're available to us for the client side. But we're going to skip past it for now. I'm just going to leave a marker behind. Something like that. There we go.
We wish you all the very best for a successful conference. Thank you.
Ugh, that is ugly. Okay, I don't need to salvage that. That's good. You gonna play? Okay, there we are.
For those of you who are noticing, there was a bit of stuttering going on in Adrian's
Dude, you're stuttering. That was just the hotel we were stuck at.
video. That'll be cleared up now because we're going to move on to Mabel Elmore. And Adrian just mentioned her briefly. Mabel is an MLA for Vancouver Kensington. She's the Parliamentary Secretary for Senior Citizens Long-Term Care. And Mabel is, and Adrian just mentioned her briefly. Mabel
Let's skip that.
is an MLA for Vancouver Kensington. She's the Parliamentary Secretary for Senior Citizens Long-Term Care.
Okay, we'll just escort her into her talk.
She's one person who has been very active in building community engagement to make the lives of people, not only in the local area, but everywhere, much better. We'll have a very brief question and answer period at the end of Mabel's presentation. So please, if you want to ask a question, please put it in the chat. I will be screening the chat and I will select your questions and I will post them then to Mabel. So welcome, Mabel.
Thank you very much, Garnet, and hello everyone. I'm Mabel Elmore, BC's very own and first ever parliamentary secretary.
Okay, that looks all right.
Talking a little bit about the future.
Let's skip forward. Is she still talking? Oh, no.
Does the government plan on addressing this recommendation?
and is also looking to expand it. And you know, the role of adult day programs, although they were suspended under COVID, are so critical and crucial. And I've heard positive feedback from caregivers on that. But I agree with you, Jay. There's
Question is from Georgia.
we're committed to supporting caregivers to provide that important work in the community.
Okay, and that's the end of her talk. Let's go like this. We're going to subsequence it yet again. Lots of repetition. I hope that's coming across here. Is once you know the general processes, it's more just a matter of grinding them out. And I've just gotten confirmation that we're not making it look pretty. We're just delivering the goods. Breaks my heart a little bit, but saves on time.
A question that was sent to me, but I can't answer it. Yeah. How seniors organize?
You were cutting out a little bit, Garnet.
Oh, okay, this goes on for longer. Let's open hers up. I thought they were done. That's my bad.
So I want to thank you for the work of supporting seniors to come and retire, and elders to stay at home and age in their communities, and be a continuing challenge.
Man, does he look miserable or what? The guy on the bottom. It's a resting Zoom face.
We have to respond to that. Yes, this is a conversation. Certainly one of the dynamics, the important role that plays.
And will the same high-dose flu vaccine be available for all seniors throughout the province? Looking to do things. But thank you so much for your presentation and also for
to access the vaccine.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Trying to keep 10 minutes each.
As many people to access the vaccine.
There we go. Back to the master copy here. This is the territory we want to be in.
Adults. Welcome, Jim. So our first presenter, and I'm going again in the order that they're printed in the program, is Jim Sinclair. And I see Jim has arrived, and I see Jim Sinclair.
I might have to do back here.
Is Jim Sinclair, and I see healthcare to older adults. Welcome, Jim.
And he's muted.
You're muted, Jim.
We'll have to catch that in the subsequence.
Too much for lunch. Anyway.
Reports.
Oh, okay, that jumped to someone else faster than I expected. Oh my goodness, it really jumped.
Examples. The federal government spent $624 billion on COVID. In context, $373 billion was the whole budget for the year before. The nonpartisan budgetary office in Ottawa concluded, after a review of a private member's bill, that we needed to increase funding by $13.5 billion a year over the next 5 years to raise the
Okay.
presentation. I look forward to the workshop we're talking about.
Let's get rid of that.
And social well-being of our communities and our country.
There we go. That's.
Thank you for this time to make this presentation. I look forward to the workshop. We're talking about a lot more of the details.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jim. You've covered a lot of territory in a very short period of time, so I encourage people to go to Jim's workshop to get him to isolation, sorry, and that the pandemic has. I'd now like to turn to Andrew Wister. Thank you again. I'd now like to turn to Andrew Wister.
Okay, and we'll skip ahead till he looks like he's done. somewhere in there.
Necessitate a complex solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And also complex funding formulas, I think.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jay. So anyone that...
Just go right there.
funding formulas, I think.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jay. So anyone that wants to follow up more, pardon me, Andrew.
Caldwell.
Yeah, BC Ombudsperson, sending them to your workshop.
I've been Caldwell.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Sorry. Our next panelist is Jay Chalk. Our next panelist is
Moscow members can pursue what I think is a very appropriate cause. Very much. I look forward to seeing some of you in the workshop this afternoon.
Okay, get rid of the workshop stuff.
And dignity of seniors. So, thank you very much. I look forward to.
now about to move on to the workshops, but first I'd like to thank the presenters that in the.
Yay!
There we are.
It just says mute my audio, hide self.
You know, either the lights or the heat or too. Our next presenter, last but not least by any means. Our next presenter, last but not least by any means.
Vocation. Spouses or
The breakout room, click yes on those of you that want to find out more about Peggy's list of points, please attend her work.
Thank you so much for being here, for your attention, and enjoy the rest of this marvelous conference.
There we go. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can... I like to clear off the plate there. We're going to go... I like to keep things as organized as possible. I just find it's easier to go back and find something and avoid the problems that we had, like with the footage folders initially. So I've got all of these are my edit sequences. I'll just throw them right in there. And now if we tackle Allison, let's find a version.
So we'll be
You know, I think we might just end up using this.
Allison Levy, who will inform us.
Does that look better? I'm not allowed to really clean this up, so.
So we'll.
Let's see.
Duties and roles under BC's adult guardianship laws. Welcome, Allison.
Great. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you.
I think this is the auto switch camera. We don't want that one. What about this one? No, we don't want that one either. I kind of think this one might be.
Having me here today. I just wanted to begin my other three esteemed colleagues. One, two.
Okay, what's going on here?
And the Tawasin people, and I feel very honored to be able to live and work in this beautiful place in Southwest Richmond in Steveston. Thank you to Sheila and the council for the invite here today. I think and also I just wanted to acknowledge the lovely tribute to Costco leaders from the past. I did know a number of them, and just want to acknowledge the huge contribution that I know that they have all made. Great to see you all here today. Great to see people from across BC and across Canada.
You know, I think this might be the better one.
So we'll begin with Allison Levy, who will inform us about what we need to know, rights, responsibilities, and roles under BC's adult guardianship laws. Welcome, Allison.
Great. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me here today. I just wanted to begin by acknowledging that I'm coming to you today from home, from the Indigenous ancestral traditional territories, unceded territories of the Musqueam, the have all made. One is to be made. Just pause.
Okay.
Opportunity to be with you.
There we go, and let's just throw some constant gain on each side. And we'll take a cross dissolve, throw it there, and one at the end.
Really appreciate it.
And you know, let's tighten that up a little bit.
Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
There we go, that's nice.
So we'll begin with Allison Levy.
No, we definitely want this.
Who will
There we go. Okay. And I think from there, it's just a matter of brute force, getting through them, making corrections. But just want to give you a little window into what goes into fixing some of these for later, what goes into prepping the individual video packages from a larger broadcast, and some of the issues that can pop up while you're trying to do so, and the importance of good organization and good workflow before you even start the project. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.